Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about the books that I read in 2025. Though this video is a little bit late, but I would really love to shoot this video. So in this video I would like to tell what are the books that I loved, what was okay for me and what didn't work for me. So basically I'm sharing my personal experience in a short and a honest review way. So this purely based on my reading experience and nothing to do personally. So yeah, let's get started. So the first book that I read, I started a very late, honestly, if I have to speak. I started at the around July, so I didn't read more books. So from July to December, what and all books I've read, it's basically about that. So yeah, the first book that I read was A Man Called O, and this is A Man Called O, the cover of the book, and I rated it around 4.5 out of 5. So I okay, let me just describe what is this book about. So this book is about a man called O, who is a little bit grumpy, lonely man whose life suddenly changes when an unexpected people enters his life, basically his neighbors. So they try to make him from a grumpy old man to a very sweet kind person. So this book is about that. My review about this book is I really love this book. It's one of my favorite reads of the year. So I absolutely love the writing, and more than that, I love the character development. So O starts off as a closed off person, but slowly, layer by layer, you begin to understand him. So he tried to be from a change from an old grumpy person to a very kind natured person. So you can imagine how the character development take place. So it's emotional, fun, and deeply connected books. So yeah, definitely worth the read, and one I would highly recommend you guys to try it. So yeah, this was my first read and I rated it 4.5. So yeah, let's get to the second read of my year. The second book is The Psychology of Money. So I have given 4 out of 5 star. So this is my first non-fiction read. So I too took a lot of time to get started with non-fiction. So according to me, if I'm reading a book, I just want to remember something from my book. Non-fiction is not something that I will keep it in my head and I remember it day to day. That's the reason why I don't usually pick up non-fiction books. I have non-fiction books, but I never stepped into reading it. So yeah, this was my first read from all the books what I've read through so many years. So this is my first non-fiction book that completed. I have read it, but I have not completed the non-fiction book. So this is gonna be the first one. So this book will mainly focus on how people think about money, the emotional decision they have taken behind the financial courses or choices. So yeah, it's about how the decision you're taking and what's the various thing that you can do with the money and how you can handle in a better way. It's about that. So my honest review about this book is this book really made me think differently about the money. It's not about complicated finance formula which is there, but it speaks about how people behave with their money, which I found very relatable actually. So it's not telling you to save money or something, but it is telling how you have to behave with the money. And I learned a lot of value of the money, long term thinking also it tells in this book, and some practical and real ideas which is there in this. It was a solid read, and if you're really curious or interested in understanding the money beyond just the numbers, then I would really recommend this book. So yeah, this was my second read of the year. So let's go for the third read. Yeah, the third book is The Gopi Diaries and Coming Home. So this is written by Sudha Murthy. So this is the interesting fact about this book. So currently I don't own that book. I would just display the how it looks, like the cover, book cover basically. So this book I read it in a single sitting when I was in one of the bookshop. It's in Bangalore, MG Road. It's called Book High. So I was sitting there and I had a lot of time there. So I picked up on this book and I read this. So it's a small story about a dog named Gopi, and it basically focuses on family love, meaning of home. My review about this book, it was such a sweet, heartwarming read for me. So the writing was gentle, simple, and full of warmth. Every page was the reflection of love, kindness, and it made it like feeling of belonging to home, to your roots. So it's perfect for both children and adults, and it's a very comforting book, like a cozy book. If you're reading a too much pile of heavy books, and if you need a little small tiny book to just go out of that comfort zone and be in that cozy zone, then yeah, definitely I would recommend reading this book. So next book which I've read was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, if I'm pronouncing it correct. So I have given it as 4.2 out of 5. So this book basically follows a wealthy family and a deep secrets, and slowly it builds up towards a shocking twist. I really don't have a book here. I bought it, but I don't have it here physically. So I will just show you the book cover at the side. So this book I bought it from the same bookshop, which was Book Hive, and this book, like I didn't expect it to end in like that situation, but I really loved how it was written, and I really enjoyed the book. As I said, I was not expecting to it end like that way. Even it has a movie, I haven't watched it, but yeah, the book was really good. And the twist, the same thing, the twist I did not see it coming. The ending was very, like, was really well done, and honestly this book made me worth reading it. That's like, I wish the writing could have been a little bit stronger, because somewhere I felt that I didn't fully connect with the character, but still it was one of the memorable read. So next book which I read was the Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. So this book I rated it 3.5. So everybody were craving about this book a few years back, so I thought to just try it, but I think it was not for me. So this book is about a coming of age story about two boys forming a friendship while navigating identity, family, and emotions. So they discover like what are their interests, and like where they really are among the friendship groups. So it's about that book. So my review about this is, book was, I found this book to be overall okayish, not like too much like people were craving for it. It was a overall read. Somewhere I felt that Aries' emotion felt confused and unclear, and his emotional shift from to sudden. Don't want to like tell the spoilers. So I didn't like how it was written. Like there was no proper narrative. Like suddenly there, I was so confused like how it drastically happened. Because of that, the ending also didn't land well for me. So I wish the relationship had developed more naturally, and it was a little more narrated or little more written in a beautiful way. Then yeah, I would have loved this book. But for now, I am not like too much into this book. I know there is a part 2 for this book, but I'm not thinking to pick it up. But yeah, if I feel like reading it, then obviously I will try reading the second part. But for now, I was okayish with the book, like overall okay with the book. So that's about my fifth read. So let's go for the sixth read. I think this is the sixth book, if I'm not wrong. So I will not number the books because I really forget the countings. So the next book is The Alchemist. It's by Andy Weir. So if you have heard about the project Hail Mary, then this is the same author. So this one, he's one of his book. So the rating which I've gave here was 3. Okay, let me just give the description about this book. So this book is about a city which is in the moon, and the story follows a woman who gets caught up doing a risky and a complex scheme. So this book is about that girl. If the review about this book is, I didn't really enjoy this one. So while the idea of city in the moon surround sounded excited, that's why the reason I picked it up, but the story felt overwhelming at some times, and like it was trying to do too much at once, which was not really for me to understand. I didn't really understand it very well. So there were a lot of technical details and plot points, and I struggled to be engaged in the story. But it was a good concept, but the execution didn't work for me. So I would also like to try the other book, the Project Hail Mary, and I would like to give one more chance for this author. If you're looking for a book which you need a strong woman story written, then yeah, this is also one of the book you can try it. But I it didn't work for me basically. But this book is all about woman, like how she fights, like how she tackles the risky mission. Basically it's a mission, so it's a pretty good read, but it didn't work for me. So let's go to the next book. Okay, the next book is Panachi and it's by Perumal Murugan. So I have given 4.2 stars for this. So the description about this book is, this book basically tells the story of a black god named Panachi and her life among the humans. So the book was beautifully written. It's like how it's told in a form of a god about humans, how human natures are, how at sometimes they be so loving, at sometimes they don't like, so they change their nature. So it's all about that, which is told by a goat, and it's tells about the human nature. So the book is basically about it. My review about it, this book really surprised me in the best way. I didn't expect it to be good. On the surface it's a simple short story, not a short story, but it's a simple story, but underneath it sits so much about the human nature. It explores kindness, cruelty, power, and how basically the society treats when you are weak. It's emotional and stays with you for a long, like even after I finished, I was thinking about it for 2 3 days. It's somewhere there with you even after you read the book. So yeah, I would really recommend you to read this book from my side. So yeah, the next book is Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. So sorry, I wrapped this book because I keep it here, and due to dust, it gets spoiled. That's why I wrap it in the plastic and keep here. So I'll tell about this book. So this book is a psychological thriller, follows a woman who loses her memory every day and has to rely on her diary to understand her life. So when she goes to sleep next day, she don't remember anything. So she maintains her diary. She writes each and every event, what is happening today, and when she wakes up tomorrow, she reads that book. So she doesn't forget what's happening in life. So this is about a book. So my review about this book, okay, let me tell more about this book little. So she has a husband, and she goes a treatment, not a basically a treatment. She consults a doctor, and she's confused whether the person who is she staying with is really her husband, because she doesn't remember what's going each and every day. So this book is revolving around it. She's finding the things, like what's the reason she's losing the memory, and she's trying to look at the people, like who are they genuinely the people that she used to be with when she was very well, not in this condition. So she goes on looking for a hunt about her life, about the reasons why she's in this current situation. So it's about that. So my review about this book is, this book was okayish for me. I really expected the early ending, and which reduced the impact of the mystery for me. So the conclusion felt overwhelming for me. With a stronger ending, this book could have been much better. But I think as I predicted the ending, a little bit of ending, not like whole thing. I predicted a little bit of ending, so it basically didn't work for me. The funny fact about this book is, I started it a way long back, so it took almost a year to complete this book because I have dropped in the middle. It's not DNF, but I dropped it in the middle and had to pick it up again this year. So yeah, but that excitement which I bought this book was not worthy after I read this book. But yeah, it's like everything you read doesn't end up well sometimes, so it's okay. It was a pretty much good read from my side. This is I don't know the number in which counting I am, but this book is Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, and I've given it as 4.8 stars. So the description about this book is, this book mainly retells about the Norse mythology myths about the gods like Odin, Thor, Loki in a modern engaging way. So if you really like Thor, Loki, then definitely you need to grab this book. It tells the tales about them, about Odin. So it's very engaging and it is beautifully written. So I really love this book, and Neil Gaiman's writing made the myths really feel alive and enjoyable. It was not like a heavy and boring read like how you feel when you read history. It's not like that way. It was very much enjoyable, and each character felt to be complete, and I love the way every story ended, and it really connected somewhere. Like it didn't feel left out. It was my top reads of the year, and I would definitely love to try his other books by the Neil Gaiman. Like I have one more book, but I would definitely pick this year because I really loved his writing. So yeah, this is about this book. So let's go with the one more book, which is The Heartland. And currently, I don't own a physical copy. I read it in a PDF form, so I'll give the cover page here. So it's a 2.5 stars from my side. The book is about a short story, like it's a collection of short story which is centered on women's life, the relationships, the social expectations. So it's like it's a men ruled society, and how women are tackling it or how they are leaving it. So it's about book is basically about that. Felt very flat for me, and the characters felt very distant, and the non-linear narrative and uneven pacing made the story really feel incomplete for me. It had potential, but the execution could have been much better. This basically my review. I know there are people who really love this book, so like people are speaking about this book, but it really didn't work for me. I wished the writing could have been better. The characters somewhere felt boring for me. I'm sorry, but I really didn't enjoy with the book. So these are all my books in 2025, and if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a happy new year.